From Central Asia, the plague spread slowly, carried in the bloodstream of black rats and in the fleas which fed on them. At first, it moved overland, along the major trade routes. Then, like a racing river, it spilled into China, south to India, and west into Egypt and Asia Minor. Within 8 years, it arrived in the Crimea. Word of this deadly Asian plague reached Mediterranean seaports, but no one thought it would ever strike Europe. In 1345, a group of Italian merchants took refuge in the city of Kaffa on the Black Sea, following a dispute with the leader of a nearby trading post. Rising tension between these Christian merchants and the local Muslim residents soon led to fighting. The fighting became a war. The Muslims asked their local Mongol prince to attack the city and kill the Italians. The attack continued for nearly a year, until the plague descended upon the Mongol army. So many died from disease that the prince had to call off the siege. But before stopping his assault, the Mongol prince thought up a gruesome plan to infect the city. With the giant wooden catapults used during the siege standing outside the city walls, the prince ordered his troops to load the slings with a horrible new weapon. One after another, the dead bodies of plague-infected Mongol soldiers were hurled through the air over Kaffa's walls. Rotting corpses rained down upon the city. The smell of death was overpowering. And while historians doubt the plague was spread this way, at the time it seemed to work. Within days, the people inside Kaffa's walls began to die. Some merchants fled the city by boarding their galleys and setting sail for the peace and safety of Italy, but there was no escaping the horror that would follow. While the merchants and sailors escaped Kaffa, they didn't know what deadly cargo they were bringing with them. Deep in the holds of the ships were the carriers of the deadly disease. The ships sailed from port to port on their long journey back to Italy. But when it was learned the men on board were dying, no city would allow them to dock in its harbor. In October 1347, the merchants finally reached the port of Messina in Sicily. The terrified harbor masters tried to isolate the ships, but it was already too late. Even as the first mooring ropes were being tied, the rats came ashore. The galleys were forced to move on, but this brief docking was all it took for the Black Death to enter Europe.